Hi, dear students. Welcome again to our lecture series on sustainability marketing. And today we'll be talking about sustainability marketing, customer costs, which is lecture 9. And I have with me Professor Dr. Frank Martin Belt, and he's here to answer my questions on this lecture. And I will just dive into the first question. You've mentioned that the consumer never really considers the total consumer cost. Is it a bad thing, and will it ever be achieved that the customer considers the total cost?
Yes, I think it is a bad thing, especially for sustainable products which are highly energy or eco-efficient. Most consumers mainly focus on the prices they pay for a product. They do not consider the variable costs or the use costs for the product. So if you have, let's say, a durable good like the washing machine, for example, and you pay a higher price for the eco-efficient washing machine upfront, those customers usually go for the less expensive, the conventional washing machine. So that's a bad thing because if you consider the total cost of ownership, if you consider the use cost as well, eco-efficient washing machines really pay off after a short period of time, let's say 2 or 3 years, because of the water, energy savings, and thus the cost savings you have. So yes, it is a bad thing, and customers should go beyond purchasing price and also include the total cost, especially the monetary cost. And I think it is a major task of sustainability marketers to make customers aware of it.
Okay, you mentioned that customers should pay attention to these other costs. But I mean, would you really say in the process of decision making of a customer, you know that some products by their nature require a short time for decision making, and then you have other products that require a longer time and consideration before you actually purchase them. So would you say providing more information to the consumer, is it really helpful? Will they have time to really go through it before making that final decision to purchase a good?
Yes, that's a good question. Generally, there's an information overload. So most consumers do not or just consider and perceive a small percentage of the information given by companies and advertising. So does more information help in the decision making of sustainable products and services? Yes and no. For most consumers, it doesn't help because they don't consider the new information or the extra information. And yet there are some consumers, it may be 5% or 15%, especially the group of Alohas, they do consider, and we know that from empirical and market studies, they do consider information given about the product and the world behind the product. And if we take that critical group, they can also influence others, mouth-to-mouth advertising, so to say. So I think, yes, for this critical consumer group, it makes a lot of sense to give extra information, and ideally they also pass it on to the other fellow friends or families and influence others as well.
Okay. Well, I will then ask you to reiterate the meaning of internalization of external cost. This is a concept you introduced in the later part of your lecture, and I'll just ask you to maybe re-emphasize on it.
Yes, thank you for raising this question. It's a rather difficult term, I guess. It comes from economic theory, and it was coined by Coase in 1936 in a seminal classical article. What does it mean, the internalization of external cost? It means that there are social and ecological problems going along with products or goods, and often they are not taken into consideration at all, and there's no price tag. So if we have sweatshops, for example, and people working their butt off there and working under bad conditions, if we have child labor, if we have, in the end of a life cycle, if we have stuff put in the dump, hazardous material, usually these are external costs which are not covered in the product and the price for the product. So we have to find ways, may it be regulations, may it be financial measures, to internalize these costs into the price and the cost of a product.
Yeah, why I asked you to emphasize on this concept was because if you might have heard that in Africa, where I come from, you have a lot of child labor going on in mines where the production of really starts, and then these products are then transported or exported into Western, into European countries or the rest of the world. And you'll find out that in most cases, these mines pose a danger to these children because there are not enough safety measures, there are not enough health, occupational hazards that are accounted for. And then you go on to say that we should take into account this by how we price the product, so that we have this endangerment shifted to the consumer. And you also find that these same products, when they are half dead or 3/4 dead, they're also shipped back to Africa, where they pose even a bigger danger, because when they try to dismantle these products, trying to extract the value left behind, these children are even put into more danger. So would just be paying for this damage be enough to counter it, or really we should look to stop it completely and prevent this kind of danger?
Yes, I fully agree with you. Thanks for raising this question. That's the externalization, or these are good examples for external cost, because the customer is not paying for it, but rather the poor children in Africa are paying for it and their future. So we have to find ways to internalize these kind of costs, to give those children a future, to enable them to go to school and have safe and healthy working conditions in the future, in the mines or in the dump once they are grown up. So yes, I fully agree with you. And the difficult question is how to do that and how to how to make it come true, how to walk the talk. And one way of doing that are labels like the fair trade labels, which over the last 2 and 3 decades has become popular both in food and the non-food areas.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I don't have any more questions. Thank you for answering my questions. And I hope that students, you have benefited from this. So once again, thank you for paying attention, and goodbye for now.
Thank you. Bye.